Hey, pirates. Welcome to episode 5 of The Black and White. We've made it 5 episodes. Awesome. This week, our guest, my guest, is a young woman by the name of Susan Nichols. Susan is a senior here at Perkins High School. She's on the track team, and I didn't know Susan real well till we sat down and did the podcast episode, and she's an interesting young woman, and she, like pretty much everybody who comes on the pod, is a fan of reading, and find out a little bit about her favorite book, how she discovered it, give you a movie, and all that. And we'll also hear a little bit about her and why she likes to read in general, and a little bit about her family. So sit back and enjoy. Susan Nichols,
yes. Welcome
to The Black and White. We're here today to talk a little about you,
yes.
books, and reading.
I'm very excited.
So cool. It's a very Susan, you're a senior here at Perkins High School.
Yes, I am.
Tell me about yourself. What do you do?
I'm Susan Nichols. I'm a senior at Perkins High School. I recently came here as a junior because I moved from North Ridgeville to Sandusky to live with my mom. And I love to read, I love to sing, I love to dance. So I love to watch movies. I watch DVDs a lot. So yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
A little bit about me.
Okay. And you're graduating?
Yes, I am.
Here in a few weeks.
Yes.
What are you going to do after graduation?
I'm planning on going to college at Cleveland State University for English. Most likely changing my major. I haven't decided on that to go into like an art thing, but yeah, I haven't chose or think about that yet. So there's a lot of opportunities though. So yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned a little bit about your family. You moved here to live with your mom.
Yes.
At the start of last school year.
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about your family and your siblings, if you have.
So I have a little brother. His name is Vincent. He goes to Middlelawn, but he's my half brother. So, and I live with my mom and my stepdad right now. And then I have my dad who lives in North Ridgeville with my aunt, but at a different house. And then basically my Nana, my papa live in Sandusky, and they live near Cedar Point. And then my aunt and my uncle live in Huron, and with my cousins. And then my great-grandpa and my great-grandpa live all the way in Lucas near Mansfield. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So you got some family here, kind of close.
Yeah.
And you moved here from North Ridgeville. How do you find Sandusky moving?
So I originally went to Sandusky when I was a small kid. So I moved from Sandusky to Perkins after 3rd grade, mostly because when my parents got divorced, I went with my dad, so I didn't really have a choice at the time. But once I was like 17, 18 or whatever, my mom asked if I wanted to move back during the summer, and I was like, yeah, I'll move back during the summer. I'll come back, see my old friends, basically, and make more friends, so yeah.
Cool. Do you do any activity? I know you're in track.
Yes, I am. I am in track.
How are you doing? How's the track season shaping?
It's going really good. I do the 200 and the 100. I haven't PR'd yet, but we do have a meet tomorrow in Tiffin, Columbia, so I'm very nervous about that, but you never know. I could possibly get a new PR, so yeah. Okay,
very good. What other activities do you
I did swim last year. I did quit last year, and I was going to do it this year, but then I quit, and then I did musical, but I quit musical, so for track mostly, and then basically that's all I do.
Okay,
so,
not in band or anything like that?
No, I'm not in band. I was going to be in band, but no.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. So, talking a big worldly level, what matters to you? What in this world? What do you think about a lot?
I think about basically the kindness and like the heart that everyone has. Like I've always been taught to put people first before myself. I've always been taught to treat others with kindness. I've always been taught, like, don't get discouraged about whatever you do or whatever. So yeah, that's basically what matters to me. I always listen to my mom and my dad because they're my heroes. So yeah.
Okay, very good. Cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about books. Now, your favorite book is what?
Maze Runner by James Dashner.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it about Maze? Now, it's a series.
Yes, it is.
What is it about this series that tickles your interest?
It tickles my interest because I originally first started watching the movies, and I was like, man, I really want to read the books, and I haven't gotten the books. And my dad bought me the books while we were shopping. So I bought the books, and I was like, okay, I like this. It's all about like the intenseness in the book and like about the characters that I like the most about it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And if you could, maybe talk a little bit about the plot. What is the book's about?
So basically, it's about this kid named Thomas who comes up from like this cage, basically. And I can't remember what exactly it's called because, yeah. And he comes up from this cage in the first book, and basically he meets other boys around his age and they're trying to basically get out of this maze that they're in the middle, or around the maze that's and they're in the middle, and they're trying to survive, and they've been there for a long time. Okay. And basically they're trying to get out of the maze without getting eaten by like the Death Eaters or whatever. I can't remember what they're called exactly. It's been a while. And they do escape in the first book, and then they're trying to escape from like a lot of bad people in the other books. And yeah, basically that's what it's about. And that's why I love it, because it's about like the suspense and what's happening in it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. If you could talk, and what, in the book, and, when I read a book, the authors always have a different style of writing that that draws me in. It's the chemistry of the book. What do you think about the writing?
I love the writing. It's much like the book, much like the movie that is like, oh my gosh, it's like I'm watching the movie, but in the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, is it, the prose, is it filled with a lot of big words that you have a dictionary to work with?
Yeah,
or
there's some words that I look at and I'm like, what are these words? And I'm also like dyslexic, so I'm like, I have no idea what these words mean. So I do have to like open the dictionary and be like, oh, that's what that means. Good to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And I don't know if you want to talk about this. We can cut it out.
Yeah.
Dyslexia. You said you're dyslexic.
So I am dyslexic. I do have other few things. I have anxiety, PTSD, depression, and ADHD as well. I haven't recently gotten diagnosed with dyslexia, but I just know I have dyslexia because I can't say particular words, or I'll read like a book sometimes, and I'm like, okay, yeah, and I'll read it out of pocket. I'm like, that doesn't make sense, and I'm like, okay, yep, dyslexia is kicking in.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, very good. So, kind of moving along, the book series of the Maze Runner and the different books. How does the story progress through the series? Basically,
it's very intense. Even in the Death Cure, it's very intense. Because some of the characters do die in books, which is sad. When I watched the movie, especially, and when I read the books, one character that I loved very much was New. He did die, and I bawled my eyes out crying to my dad. But even in the last two books, it's very intense in the last two books, even though they're not movies, but they are very intense as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the transition from, you actually went the other way. Most people, you read the book and then watch the movie.
Yes.
Or I guess some people do it that way. You went the other way. You saw the movies first and then read the book. Talk about how they compare.
So when I read, I love movies. I always grew up watching movies. I watch usually any movie if I choose to. But I saw Maze Runner on Netflix, and it was also leaving Netflix. So I was like, okay, I gotta watch this. And I know there's books about it. I just haven't read the books yet. But watching the movie first, I was like, okay, I guess I'll watch the books. And I read the books. And I was like, oh, literally the exact same thing, but like told kind of differently a little bit.
Okay,
So, yeah.
So they were pretty tight.
They were pretty similar and
Which
tight.
is a rare thing.
Yeah.
You know, even like the Harry Potter books,
Yeah.
they weren't
Yeah,
really, the story, you know, was twisted somewhat
Yeah.
here and there. But yeah. Okay, cool. So what else do you read? Is there any other authors' books that you...
I do read Harry Potter. I have all the books. I have... I at the moment have only read Harry Potter and Maze Runner, but I do read some like books, like romance books, like teen romance fiction books or whatever. But those
Okay.
are like the two
Okay.
books that I read a lot.
Okay, very good. Let's kind of move on to the next part.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a little bit about reading in
Yeah.
general. Why do you read?
I read just to extend my vocabulary, because when I was a kid, I didn't have a vocabulary at all.
Okay.
And when I started reading, like freshman year, I had a bigger vocabulary. And a lot of people were like, oh, I didn't know you knew that word. I'm like, yeah, I didn't know that either. Yeah.
Okay, so you're reading for vocabulary.
Yeah.
What and is there a particular place that you like to read? Or is there...
There's a couple places I like to read in my room on my bed, or usually sometimes if I feel willing, I will read in the living room or even in the car. Because depending if it's a long car ride, I will read a book.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ever read on vacation or anything like that?
Depends on if I have time, I will, but it's usually sometimes not all the time. So yeah.
Okay. Do you typically have a book with you at all times?
Sometimes yes. Usually I do. I usually don't, because it's a lot of stuff to carry or whatever in my bag. So it depends on if I have room in my bag, I will. But
Okay.
yeah.
Very good. Good. That's one of the problems that we're noticing is that younger kids especially aren't reading as much as maybe you did as a kid or I did as a kid. Mm-hmm. And we're saying, hey, that we need to change that.
Yeah.
And the teachers at our elementary schools are working real hard on literacy and such. But what can we do to get more kids to more people in general, not just kids, but anyone, to read a book?
I feel like if you pull them into a specific book that you think that they will like, that's what is like the key. Like when I was a kid, I used to read like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, like Smile or whatever. Yeah. Those are the only ones, or like Captain Underpants. At least those will bring kids in, because it's like comic books and like sometimes not comic books, and a lot of people do like comic books. And that's like what brings them in, I feel like, in my opinion. So yeah.
Okay, very good. Do you recommend books to your friends?
Yes, sometimes. Some of my friends don't read, depends, but I will read. My mom has also recommended books because she reads a lot. Because I did see her this morning with a book, and I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, my mom recommends books to me. I recommend books to people. So yeah, yeah.
It's a very good thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we find out, what next to
Yeah.
read. I actually have a stack of about 4 books on my nightstand to read, and just with a busy life, there'll probably be another book on stack on top before I read them.
Probably.
But that's the way it goes. So, building this passion for reading. What do is there a way to build passion for reading and sort of get...
In my opinion, I feel like I will show my passion with a lot of people, because like I'll read anytime.
Yeah.
Like if you want me to read with you, I'll read with you. I don't care. Like I'll read with you. I'll do I'll just read a lot. I just have a passion for reading, because I used to not like reading at all. That I can remember that I used to come home, my dad would be like, hey, read this, like you had an assignment to read this. I'm like, I'm not going to read that. I don't want to. I don't want to read that whole huge
Homework's
thing.
never fun
Yeah,
to read.
it's really not. And once I got older, I was like, okay, I'll read this. Yeah, I'll read it.
Was there something in particular that clicked that said, hey, reading is not meant to be a chore, but entertainment and fun? And
I feel like I feel like it's always the cover for me. Like if I see a cool cover, I'll definitely read it. That's usually what I'll be like, okay, there's a cover, cool. Yeah.
Okay, very good, cool. Well, I have to say, Susan, one of the things that really, whenever a student sends me an email and says, "Hey, can I do something?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, that's awesome." So you sent me an email
Yes.
a week ago asking to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that is so awesome. So I do want to say thank you
You're welcome.
so much for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for reaching out. And thank you
You're
for coming on the podcast.
You're welcome. I was very happy to be on here.
Very good. Thanks much.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, everybody. Hey, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you found Susan interesting as I did. I look forward to seeing her go off to Cleveland State and studying English. It seems like she's got plans, things she's thinking about things beyond college at this point, which is good. Also, one of the things I love about this pod so far is finding out books to read, and Maze Runner might be one of those books that I open up here sometime over the summer. So, anyways, thank you again, and we'll be back next week. Thank you.